this!
Nah.
Being distracted.
Had you got away! The dusk is always ready for a fight. I have watching for you!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No, I should tell you. I don't usually kill my victims straight away. Better not catch you littering, bro.
Money to burn.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let the fun begin!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Uprooted after them!
Lại ra, lại tạo ra.
Nothing. Come!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Double damage.
Lại ra,
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Where's the party?
Killing spree.
Nature's wrath.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lại tạo ra.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lại tạo ra.
Haste! Here I am! Looking for me? Oh, what'd I miss? Ha!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let us go down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Thought you knew stubbies, did we?
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
You can't have it!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You're dead. Gold is a great conductor. Come and fight me! Zap! Now over here!
Radiant's courier has been slain.
My friend! Radiant structures are fortified. You remind me of my old boss! Run in hell! Got it.
Knackered.
I never pull my punches. Zip-zap!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Has fallen to the Radiant.
Zip! You were all hard and
Lại nha, lại nha, lại tạo người nha. Lại nha, lại nha, lại tạo người nha.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Double damage.
blow the man down! Haste!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Death warmed over.
At the under!
Structures are fortified.
Double kill. Killing spree.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dominating. Ultra kill.
Narrow maze with you!
Lại nha, lại tạo người nha.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm over here.
No? Let's get started.
Lấy tảo về nha. Lấy tảo về nha.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Where's my pension? Huzzah! The Dusk is always ready for a fight. I've been wanting this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
Let the ha!
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Mega kill. Ownage.
Lấy tảo về nha.
Radiant's courier has been slain.
Whoa, what did I miss? Oh, God.
Lấy tảo về nha.
I have bunting for you. Haste!
Lại nha.
Ownage.
Lại nha. lấy tảo rồi nha.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
The seeds of
Lại nha, lấy tảo rồi nha. Lại nha, lấy tảo rồi nha.
Stupid meat.
with me.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sick burn.
Ownage.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The dust.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Warriors of the wood.
Got it.
Double damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Is fallen to the Radiant.
Regeneration.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Zap.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pull roots and run!
Where's the party?
Lại ra, lại ra, lại tạo rồi ra. Lại ra, lại ra, lại tạo rồi ra.
I've been wanting this. Looking for me? Over here now. Up. Let the fun begin!
Monster carnage.
Lại ra, lại tạo rồi ra.
Well, ain't this cute?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Killing spree. Own it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I sleep with the fishes.
Bottom tower is under attack.
None to burn.
Radiant's courier has been slain.
Got it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ashamed to say Mateo.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
party?
Hey, how you going?
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lại ra, lại trở về ra.
Haste!
Come and fight me.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm way too cute to die.
Lại ra, lại trở về ra.
Get a bit caught up here?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Stupendous!
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Lại ra, lại trở về ra.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ownage! Look at you!
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
The dusk is always ready for a fight.
Lại ra, lại trở về ra.
To the Radiant.
Where's my pension? Second wind.
Lại ra, lấy tảo rồi nha. Lại ra, lấy tảo rồi nha.
So much. Over here now. Oh boy.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Killing spree.
Dire's middle tower. Dire's middle barracks have fallen.
Burns.
Secret.
Did Beast Coast win game 1?
Yes, they did.
Okay. I want to watch that.
What is
Wow.
Can we watch that, please?
see? I can't see.
What a rude man. She literally said, which one should we do? I would like to do this. And then you just immediately
I really want to
said,
see that one.
I want to see other one and
Well-
pointed.
She asked for our opinions.
What is stream?
That is true. I did ask.
Okay.
So what were you?
What is stream C?
Like 4 times?
IG.
IG and EG.
Wait, it's
Wait,
EG.
no, not
Vici.
EG.
Vici IG.
Vici
See that one.
I want to see other
and
SG Esports.
SG.
SG Esports.
That's right. I got eyes
And
like
VC.
a hawk.
Vote D with me?
Wait, did you really see that far?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, okay, vote. C. All for C, raise your hand. All right, it's just
Oh,
me.
I see. See?
You just did that to make it 2-2.
No, I
we're-
didn't.
Well, guess what? We're in C.
Hell yeah.
We just overruled both of you. Now I feel really
I
bad.
see how it is.
That's host power.
I feel so bad.
Run with it. You own the panel.
I don't know the panel. We are all a team.
Can we veto if this one looks obvious after a few minutes?
All right, well, sell it to me. Why is it obvious? What
No,
do you got?
if it does, because
Oh,
it's looking pretty good.
I see.
I think they've got a lead and they've got a terrible lead.
That's another Monkey King. Looking like a lot of
Right,
monkeys. Now,
they have
Bat
better
Rider.
map control, they have better team fight,
Yeah.
and they're ahead
With a terrible lead.
with the Terrorblade.
Scared.
So basically, you're both saying that the winner is obvious.
Well, not.
No,
I mean,
it's never obvious.
SG can win, like you always can in Dota, but it's low percent. Oh,
Oh,
push easy.
there we go. Beautiful. Look
This is how you
ahead.
come back. You just need to put the view on the cliff.
You can gotta channel the spirit.
Do you feel like ever since Lotus Orb came out, Batrider is just kind of,
Do you remember the patch like
times?
3 months ago where he's the most broken hero? In the game?
I do, but he's different now.
He's still broken.
Okay.
He's not absurdly broken, but he's incredibly strong. I would still put him A tier in the heroes.
Wow. I mean, the hero has intrinsically not changed that much, though. It's still exactly the same. It's just a repositioning
They changed
drag.
him a lot though. Like the thing about Batrider is he was so fundamentally broken when he was introduced to Dota that they nerfed different aspects of him. Like first was like the Firefly, it had 1800 night vision, and you build like Mask of Madness travels on him, so you could lasso so far away. And Lasso was broken, and then now for a bit it was the Shard plus Sticky plus any neutral item was broken. They keep having to find different things to nerf about him because his toolkit is inherently so strong.
Yeah. You see that so many times on any hero that can really reposition people easily. Like, it's so hard to balance for that kind of stuff. Tiny, my God, that hero is just, it seems like every patch he's just first pick crazy stuff all over again. So, yeah, and here we are at TI once again, first pick, first ban, huh?
And I like that word that you used, repositioning, because you're never really out of a game if you have a hero that can reposition, right? And even a hero that a lot of people dislike having in their games, Pudge, can turn games around with a single hook into the base, right? Magnus, a skewer back, can change a game.
Windrunner Shard.
A toss back, Windrunner Shard. While it's not the greatest tool,
It's awful. Continue, sorry.
it's nice. You know, it does add a difference to team fights. And Batrider being one of them. Another being Earth Spirit. His repositioning tool was so broken, they had to change it. They had to make his kick slower. They took away his Aghanim Scepter, which used to kick people back from a very long range away. They made it so you have to be melee to the hero, and it stopped being a lasso. Before, you used to just rush Aghanims on Earth Spirit, go in, buy Blink Dagger, go in, and then just stone somebody and kick them back from 500 or 600
Into your
range
fountain.
away. Now,
Literally into your fountain.
And now you can't really do that anymore. But they do have to fix these heroes, and Darkseer even.
Yeah, the
Darkseer's been
vacuum.
nerfed
I
so
mean,
many times.
TI1, that's just repositioning. Well, coming from a filthy Earth Spirit spammer like you, I will take that at your word. Disgusting.
I would say Earth Spirit spammers are good people and intelligent people, unlike certain heroes that may or may not be present in the current meta. Tiny.
Very cool, very funny.
Very true. Would you rather play against Tiny or Earth Spirit?
Oh my goodness!
We have a guest coming onto the stage. Another Dota celebrity. Tsunami.
Chant remnant you and boulder smash you out of here if you don't mind.
See, you've kicked me away.
Kicking you away. I'm sorry. It's the way it goes sometimes.
Goodbye. It was fun. Slacks, don't bully anyone.
I'm not a bully.
See me, feel free to insult him.
Oh, I do that enough when we're not on TI stream.
That's bullying.
I got effective target you. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Bye,
All right,
Abby.
bye,
See you
Abby.
soon. Welcome, Tsunami.
It's been a while. What did I miss?
You missed.
In Dota 1,
Missed a lot
Windrunner
of
built
Dota.
Battlefield.
Would you shut up,
Oh,
Allie?
because she wanted cleavage, right? That was
Oh, okay,
the strategy,
That
right?
was very fast.
Hey, Effie! My God!
Now, now why you build it on range here?
Okay,
I know it gave different attack animations for Tidehunter. That was supposed to be everyone build Battle Fury.
Okay, well,
Strategy,
That
right?
was very fast.
hey, Effie!
Very on Tide.
Okay, so this game. Why? They gave LC
Left me out to dry
Aegis.
there.
Sorry. They did build on Battlefield for an attack animation.
Thank you. Please
It was an
clarify.
anchor smash
It was.
animation.
Yes,
Spun around.
that did happen. Anyway.
No, because I saw something. Like the Legion Commander, he
Yeah.
picked up Aegis because he's the save versus lasso. And Terrorblade Aegis is sort of pathetic because you lose meta.
Ah.
So it's sort of a cool decision. Like, I think Aegis usage in general has gotten more thoughtable at least. Like even the last game we were watching, we were saying like people would always put on Storm, but there are niche cases where you want it on a hero that can break base or start the fight for you in a different way than Storm. And it's good to see people think about things more in Dota in general.
Yep, not a lot of that happening. People thinking about things in Dota.
All right, so one question I have for all three of you is that we've heard and seen a lot of VG gaming throughout the year, throughout the DPC. We haven't really seen too much of SG Esports. So what are your thoughts on the team? Do you think that they're a contender to make top 4? Or do you think that they'll maybe land in the lower 4 to maybe 9th?
The current highest placement for Brazil at TI is last place right now. It was Pain Gaming, that had Weehaw. South America has done well with Peru and Infamous doing top 8 at TI 9. And for SG, they didn't even do that great in either of their DPC seasons. It was really this qualifier that, to me, seemed unpredictable. Avo saw it coming, apparently. He saw the writing on the wall. Their DPC was underwhelming, and most of the favorites, the Brazilian favorite of No Ping, was eliminated super early on in the South American qualifier. And so, as far as I'm concerned, my benchmark for SG is not getting eliminated in groups. I think that would be a great look for them, and I think it's a possibility. Outside of that, I am going to consider them underdogs every single match of main event, I'm pretty sure.
The thing about SG that's weird is that they were actually really highly touted in the scrim scene. During, I think maybe the first DPC, but before that, like teams would say like, this team is literally better than Quincy, EG, and Adai in scrims. Like they were destroying people and they're on ping. And then they just, I don't know what happened, but they just ended up not showing results in DPC. I think I've heard some criticism for like they're not able to end games properly or something. And like when the pressure gets higher, maybe that comes into play more. It seems like hang on a lot more in officials than in scrims. But I think their upward potential should actually be quite high. I mean, I have no idea. I haven't really seen them play much, and I don't get to watch their scrims. But there is something there.
Holy moly. Sorry, continue.
And part of what I think is there is these 5 players have been playing together for a while. It's not just like so many of the Chinese teams where just like, okay, we need to make a DPC team real quick. These are the free agents available. These guys had been playing together on an older No Ping, and then No Ping canceled their Dota 2 squad because there was no international in 2019. And so they were like, we can't afford to keep a Dota 2 squad. So they kept playing together unsigned for a while as Team Brazil.
Did they used to have King
I don't have a question. Yawawiwa, look at these ravages in the Monkey King old.
These 5 players.
Okay.
Zang Pow.
King RD was on the other No Ping.
Ah, I see, okay.
All right, nerds, here's the deal about SG Esports. Here's the real deal. I got my theory here. Check this one out. Beast Coast, the best team in South America. Can anyone disagree? Not really.
No, not really.
Come on.
They didn't get first place in season 2.
Whatever.
Okay.
But Beast Coast, the best team in South America. Now, SG Esports has a very unique play style. Do you know what that play style is? The exact opposite of Beast Coast. These guys play and do everything that Beast Coast doesn't do because that is their biggest training in the region. Now, Beast Coast is doing well in the tournament, taking games off of Team Secret. Incredible stuff. I believe Beast Coast will create the meta past the group stage after they do extremely well. Everybody will be surprised by them except SG, who built their entire style around beating Beast Coast. All these other teams that are less familiar with Beast Coast's stolen meta, they don't know how to play it well. These guys know how to beat it best. They might make it out of groups.
Don't beat Beast Coast in the DPC though. If this is an anti-Beast Coast stretch, shouldn't they be beating Beast Coast?
Don't you understand though, everyone else has studied how to beat Beast Coast and they will beat them on a different way.
Oh, I see.
However, adopting their meta, leaving only SG alive. Monkey King.
That is a very bold claim.
Thank you.
That is a very bold claim.
Even calling
I know you were
it
trying to say
bold.
trying to say something positive.
Tangents.
I like it though.
Thank you, Sue.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're uplifting all the teams.
I know Aoi is an advocate of the economy of speech in Dota. You know, you really need to keep your communication as efficient as possible, especially in game, and I feel like that was a lot of words.
That was a lot of words.
It was a lot of words.
But they were all very meaningful, so I appreciate that you said them. We are all better for it.
I genuinely dislike you. But
Anyway,
can we continue?
Seriously, we're all friends here. I promise. It doesn't really sound like it, but
I don't want anyone at home to get
when Flax fires AUI, I guess this
As the head of the Western Cabal.
Western Bloc.
The Western
No
Bloc.
one understands these jokes. Stop. Anyway, okay, can we talk a little bit about Morph City here? Morphling. Oh, is that an E-blade on Batrider? Is that a thing?
I can start sharing some statistics with you.
is.
It's we're pretty deep into the group stage, so at this point it's still only day one, but since so much Dota is being played, I can give you some win rates and contention rates if you're interested.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so which hero do you think so far, out of all the matches played so far, which hero is the most contested, most picked, most banned?
Monkey King.
Tiny.
There are 3 correct answers. You got the first 2. Slacks.
Io.
Oh,
Sorry.
please raise your hand in class, Curtis. Yes, all Monkey King, Io, and Tiny, 100% contest rate. They have either been picked or banned in every single game.
Wow.
Wait, has Monkey King been banned every game then? 'Cause I haven't seen him that much.
He's been showing up a few times. Let's see how many times he's been banned.
Every single game?
Every single
I'm
game.
not
He's very
surprised.
annoying in the
There's
draft.
27 game sample size so far. He has been banned 21 times out of 27
And
games.
picked 6 times.
Yeah, and so he's the most banned hero. The other ones have more picks.
That is what I expected. I did expect to see more
You
Monkey
put that in
King,
your
but it is
compendium?
because he's banned. Guess what? I forgot to fill out my compendium.
Uh-oh.
I went to sleep so early
Oh, no.
because I was very, very tired. I set an alarm to fill out my compendium, and then I woke up, looked at my phone, and turned it off and flipped over and went back to sleep.
That entire story has so many sad parts. I set an alarm to do my compendium, and I went to sleep at 8 p.m. My
I
God.
asked Purge like 5 million times, when is the deadline?
He won't help you. Purge is a sicko. He thinks that the points are finite, and he refuses to help give any out to
There's a
anyone else.
limited number of points being given out. Right
No, he
now.
helped me. He helped me know what time, and then I set an alarm, and then I just turned it off because I was really exhausted, and I wanted to be more rested for today.
Thanks,
Well,
Purge.
it worked.
And
Now
that's-
Your
The
compendium
Tide
points.
Hunter has ages.
Huh?
The Tide Hunter has ages now because they're too fat.
Oh,
They have too many
let's
items.
go.
Ooh, Tide Hunter. I got a
He
number
has
for Tide
triple
Hunter.
Ravage.
So Tide Hunter's been picked 9 times. What do you think his win rate is?
57.
Okay, that's in the 50 range. Assuming we're what's your
70.
Can't do math.
70?
He's picked 9 times. It has to be 55. Let him. Okay. Sorry.
It's
One.
6.
1. Okay.
Price
is Righting.
the Price is Right rules. Okay, I say.
right.
Assuming you were the closest. 9 picks, 77.7% win rate.
That is high.
That is
That is-
extremely high.
72.
Gracious
That
me.
doesn't even surprise me. It's Tide Hunter.
Is there any way they can defend this? He got an Aegis on Tide. He got double cheese, the fabled
They have triple Ravage too.
double Gouda right there.
And then you have the buildings just getting absolutely demolished.
They
And
have
this is
the-
not a good team to deal with like mega creep situations. No gyro, no real. These are all really single target heroes. Jeez.
Just AoE plus the attack is pretty crazy.
Is she 25?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, can I ask you, Tsunami, or I don't really care
I'm an
who
expert.
answers. What about Brewmaster? This hero used to be like this offlaner who was kind of this near semi-carry burst. He pretty much been relegated to Purge Machine,
Yeah.
right? That's all he does. He ults and then he's like, no, right? Does he have another use, or what's up with this hero?
I think people just build him around the ultimate now. They go like Aghanim's Refresher.
Yeah.
And you just have 4 ultimates. It's not a bad hero. I think it got a decent amount of play, but the problem is its laning is pretty vulnerable. Like the hero has like 2 base armor. I think like standard move speed, so you go against like some big Ravage or
Number 1, but Brewmaster split.
did he just hit pandas?
Only 2 more to go. We can survive, guys.
And there's 4 pandas now, and he can go to any of them. to live.
Yeah.
And then he'll just
trying to
split
kill him off,
again.
but the Invis Storm Panda's chilling. TB kills it. The Earth Panda, I think, got away. No? Oh, it's on the run.
Okay.
Oh, he's running.
The strength of Monkey King.
I don't know. I don't think this is
Is that
happening.
a Stormcraft?
Oh, there you go.
There's
The
another
multiple ults. The Void Panda, Sumi. Have you ever heard of the Void Panda?
Yes.
Okay, great.
What am I I'm sorry, what am I supposed to say to that?
Nothing,
other
I'm
than yes or
familiar.
no? I know that generally you don't answer questions yes or no on the panel, but
Yes, I've heard
there
of the
really
point.
wasn't a follow-up to that.
That's some intense lore right there. That's an intense Monkey King. Oh, gracious. And
more
is this just
building.
end the game? They didn't expel a single cheese, no Aegis. This is looking,
They used one ulti. They used one Tide ulti.
wow, scary.
One of
More to
three.
go.
Yeah, this one's donezo. All right. BG Gaming, though. Looking strong.
Can we watch Secret Beast Coast?
All right, well, AUI knows how this game is going to go, so we're going to switch over to stream
Oh my
D.
god.
Yeah, but that's panic, though.
Oh my god. Owie. You ruined my viewing experience. Morphling made it out alive. Owie. This game. Okay, it's over. Go ahead.
I think
We are,
come back.
we are in the process of switching.
I see. Peachy Gaming victory. Well. Owie's correct again, and we got it at the perfect time. Beast Coast
Oh, they're
versus
up
Team
again.
Secret. Let's go.
You know, both Effie and AUI were right when they said that Peachy was going to win, but you know, I just held on to the stream and made us watch it. Anyway,
You know, that's your
because
job.
We have to give the
Really,
other
Slacks did it because he had the veto vote.
Owie, how many times do you speak without being spoken to?
Sorry.
Thank you. Please remember your place TI winner.
Why does he have this grasp over you? I don't
Slacks
understand.
is a very scary person.
Okay, so where are we at here, smart people?
Well, Beast Coast took game one, which a lot of people were like, yeah, Beast Coast. Avo was particularly happy about it. But this time it looks like we have a Medusa, and actually we have kind of a lot of. Well, actually, we have like pretty much an entire swap where we have like heroes that we didn't see in the last game at all. Actually, I think this is the first time in today that I've seen Sand King, Nyx, Shadow Shaman.
This is the first time that I've seen Gyro without Io.
Yeah.
I've always been seeing them be paired up. I don't know how good is the hero by himself, Curtis. Is it like a TI2 situation where you just had to pick Io plus the Gyro, or?
Honestly, I don't think Gyro Io is that good right now because I don't know. There's something weird about it. Like there's something off about your team fight. Gyrocopter Io used to be really strong because Io would help Gyro farm really fast, and then Gyro would carry the team fights. But the builds people are going for, or maybe it's just like some power creep in Dota. Like I don't feel like Gyro does that in team fights anymore. So I actually prefer something like this where you have like a more standard save and some like stuns, which Gyro doesn't really have from like Nyx and Shadow Demon.
Because he's dealing damage. How though? Because I mean, like, sure, I get that Io helps Gyro farm faster, but why are the stuns helping Gyro in a way that Io wasn't?
I mean, you need people to be stunned to hit him in Dota. Like otherwise you get kited. I mean, it sounds stupid, but that's how it works. Like you need stuns to right-click people.
Need a mouse to right-click people too. He's right. This guy's on this a lot. He's smart. So anyway.
Well, guess what, fam? We are still on Dota Survivor, and we are now welcoming up our next guest. Oh my gosh, what is happening here?
You have to mark a territory in the talent scene. And as you can tell, that was the old block. Now we're in with the new blocks.
You saw how scared Owie was.
Hello.
Like, now just imagine the power that this man wields.
And the best thing there is because of the camera angle, they probably saw none of the posturing we were doing.
They only, I think they saw your back, and that's
I mean,
it.
that is
A lot of
that
gyrating.
is peak me, that's for sure. I am better looking not at this part, so.
I thought you were gonna say you're better looking than Slacks.
No, I mean, that man is a hunk. Have you seen him?
Lost a lot of weight recently.
His 2021 journey is something to admire. He is a beautiful man. Sorry, what were you guys talking about
We're
Dota-wise?
talking about is Gyro capable by himself without Io? Because this is the first time I'm seeing Gyro by himself without the pairing. And well, right now he's looking damn good.
I mean, okay, have you actually answered the question before I repeat any points?
I think Gyro's better without Io right now.
Yeah.
With Io or without?
Without.
I would agree.
Okay.
Why
Because
is that?
so far today, we've seen these IO pairings where it's like they have to fully subscribe to stacking jungle, not letting it get invaded, still winning fights when you're basically playing as like pretty much 3.5, 4, because obviously your Gyro's off doing farming stuff, which is not map presence. And then you think about Gyro as a hero, he has so much damage in laning phase, but if he has that actual killing hero with him, he can just slay the lane, right? And if he has the stacks, he'll still farm them. The reason why you want the accelerant of IO is like the value of flak, right? Like you pump out the overcharges, kill everything, right? And constantly farming. Without the IO, you're probably not farming as quick, you don't have the regen, etc. But if you have killers and you're killing, that kind of mitigates the lack of like speed of farm, right? So I honestly, yeah, I think I prefer non-IO.
It's just like sort of what you said, but like IO, he helps you get your flaks off faster, but he doesn't help them do more damage. Like you're still only hitting for 6 flak cannons, right?
Yeah.
So
The
it's useful
overcharge
because like
doesn't
you can
really
get them off really fast and hit like supports and burst people. But I don't know, it's just something about it feels off. Like I feel like IO, you want to use the magic damage, and honestly, this hero's picked so much, and he is strong in pubs, but I'm not personally like certain about like what he brings so much.
Do you think that he deserves the 100% pick ban rate right now so far in group stage?
I mean, he must have like slapped in scrims or something.
I get, yeah. Well, I mean, IO on TI is always
he's been spammed in pubs a lot, but like it's not like he had some absurd win rate. Also, IO never has that high win rate in pubs, so I honestly just don't know.
Ooh. Yeah,
the other thing that was interesting that was being pointed out by the obs, Storm took the shard from this second Roche. The Overload AoE.
I love
that. What it is?
That's the type of shard where you either see it do like nothing, or the moments where it actually pops off and you get the clicks in, and it's like everyone's going. Brrr. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, it's a kind of, it's a pretty.
What is the shard?
It applies overload to allies right click, right?
Yeah, three hits.
3 hits, and it's within a certain
good
range, right? It's like.
An AoE
it's an AoE buff.
It's AoE around.
My brain was like, it's this big, but that doesn't mean anything on a panel.
Can you show it to the camera, please? It's around this big.
It's around
this
this
big right
big,
here.
guys.
That's the size of it.
Dota is a game of feel, and I won't lie. There are some times when people talk about spells or ranges and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's about like this long. Because like I'm using my monitor as like my reference point. I'm like, yeah, it's not this much on my monitor. Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. Moving on.
I'm actually surprised they didn't give it to Sand King. I think I don't know if you bought it already. But that shard got basically a talent added to it. Like it used to just do the pulse for every 700 you move, but now it also increases epicenter by 20 damage. I think it's pretty good. The Storm one, like you get that if you feel like you're lacking a lot. Actually, it does make sense versus Medusa. Because if you feel like you're lacking damage, it is an extra like 600 damage or 700 damage that you can just all pump out when you're hitting Dusa.
Yeah, but who else is right-clicking besides Storm and Gyro? Is it purely just to buff the Gyro?
You'll always get some right-clicks off in fights, right?
As a Nyx assassin?
Yeah. I mean, if you need to get right-clicks off, like, I mean, Nyx gets a Vendetta hit off, right?
Yeah.
Like Sand King, when you bro strike in, you can attack someone to apply caustic. It's not like you have to constantly attack for it. You just need to get a bit off. And even if you only use
still gives the
Gyro,
attack speed, right? On the.
It gives Storm attack speed.
But it doesn't give everyone else attack speed?
No, just Storm.
And it's 3 for everyone?
Who
everyone.
got buffed in the AoE, yeah.
Oh, the good swap before he burrowed. Oh, he's on this.
All fighting the Stone Gaze, but seem like Gyro cares at all. Man,
I actually like this matchup, like Gyro versus Medusa like this.
Yeah, this is way better than I thought it would be.
What makes it a good matchup?
I think you farm faster than her, but
So I said you can just go toe for toe, right?
Yeah.
Think of the items he's buying. He's buying Ag, Satanic, Skadi. If you lock into that duel with Medusa, as long as you don't get like Stone Gaze into like other damage, you're gonna always be able to fight into Mana Shield. You're not dying. You can like kind of have your pseudo Mana Shield with your Satanic, whilst Medusa doesn't have it. Like this, you're kind of equally beefy in the carry department if it's like that perfect 1v1.
I think you actually outskill Dusa. Like it's sort of weird. It depends a lot about what teammates you have, but generally I found that Gyrocopter forms just as fast or faster depending on the game. You have a bit more tempo because Dusa is just 285 MS, and eventually, like when you're 7 slotted versus 7 slotted, you have like a pretty good fighting chance for sure. It might not be like 100-0 for Gyro, but you can definitely beat her ultra late game.
How does Lifesteal work against Mana Shield? Does it?
Lifesteal in general, except for Feast, which just applies health, is based on how much damage you do after armor, after reductions.
Okay.
So you lifesteal a lot less versus Dusa. The thing about Gyrocopter is your Aghanim's will randomly hit a creep and you'll lifesteal for like 1200 off Satanic.
So it kind of looks like they have a very firm grasp of the game. Is there a way for Secret to kind of like, is there a timing thing, or is there like a specific play they need to do?
So Secret have Venge Swap and double instant stun heroes in Shaker and Rasta. When you have that, you can basically always clutch out a game. But they do need to find a correct fight, and this looks like a really good fight for me.
At the center. Shaman bought back, but I don't think he's gonna do anything anymore.
Yeah, and without Leshrac, like I think Dire side just lacks damage right now. They need to find a way for Leshrac to do damage in fights, so it's hard.
It's so refreshing when you see Sanking Epi feel like it's doing something. It's been so long where I watch a Sanking, I'm laughing at it comically at like 40 minutes, like, what are you?
Part of it, I think, is the shard.
Yeah, and then
does he have it?
Yeah, now it actually kind of like feels like you have a way to like
check.
punish your
That's
enemy.
a good point. I don't know if he has it.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it is now my turn to be eliminated from Survivor Dota.
Brutal hit.
South American team is about to win. I think
true.
we need to bring someone who's capable of bringing the passion for that region.
Very true.
That is true.
Assuming you're great, but I think Avo might be suited better for this job.
For this game.
Yeah, for this game.
Well, I'm clearly not wanted here by Tsunami, so
Please.
I'm a step out.
I just want one good gob before the game ends. He's making this way. He's getting makeup. T, what are you doing? What's your excuse?
My excuse is nothing. Soaking in the moment, you know, Beast Coast finally beating Secret. Okay, finally. I mean, it's the first time playing at TI.
It might be their first time beating Secret ever, actually.
I mean, Secret eliminated them at TI 9, right? So this is a little bit of revenge.
There's going to be a better.
It was Secret?
So it's going to be a minute.
Huh?
It was Secret that eliminated them?
Yeah.
Oh man, then this is definitely a revenge because it's basically the same squad. It's Secret with Matu instead of mid one, and then the exact same infamous squad on Beast Coast. Sorry, I got preemptively excited that Ava was going to be here.
Yeah, and then he just
And then
didn't come in, huh?
He just leaves,
dipped.
right? And they don't see anything, you know, they disappear. That's it.
Highly anticlimactic.
But it's like a cool idea in Dota, because I think traditionally DOTA has always been like the late game hero.
Yep.
But you get someone like Gyrocopter can sort of, as like you were mentioning, T, like you can match your beefiness in a lot of ways. And you just have this like one Nyx or Shouty that changes the matchup, and all of a sudden, like, I don't think DOTA carries this game.
But that's why I like the fact that like when I came on the panel, you're talking about how like does Gyro need the accelerant, and it's like it's refreshing. Like when something becomes good in Dota, everyone just assumes that's the way to play it, right? And like when you just kind of take a step back and relook at things, it's like, wait a second, it's cool playing it that way, but it's equally still good playing it, you know, without that. And obviously I think Gyro is probably a different case. I think it's a bit more common, not seeing it with IO and these like natural things, but
the thing is, I think IO, if you want to play IO, you should play high tempo.
Yes.
Like your Gyrocopter needs to go 4-1-1, and you need to run at them. Like maybe find a way for IO to get a fast mech, and you just go. And I can still see that working, but how people have been playing Gyrocopter, like they've been getting more stats because Flat Cannon and mana cost got nerfed, so like it's actually harder to take more in Q now. And then going for like these Aghanim's, Daedalus, these types of builds, like IO does not help Gyrocopter with that. Gyro is actually one of the carries that benefits the least from the attack speed of overcharge, because Aghanim is a set interval.
And is he going Rapier? Yeah, he is, right? Yeah.
He should go Rapier. They're all in.
It's going to take a while for him to get there, though.
And with that said, like if Secret can turtle up to the Rapier, start any fight with the like 2 heroes that can instant stun or swap into instant stun, like you can sort of always win team fights if you clutch it up.
That's the saving grace, right? Like for Beast Coast, when they go high ground, they do have SD, Disrupt, but other than that, it's like reinitiation. You're not like saving your carry outside of like a Beaky being or disrupting. And I think Secret, that's where they can play on that really well. Like you have the Shaker, you have the Shaman, even Venge Swap, you know? Like if he pokes up high ground and suddenly he's by a tier 4, like it doesn't matter if they have saves or anything. It's like taking a fight near the tier 4s will be devastating.
I mean, swap into Hex is a classic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even easier when it's built into Rasta's skill set.
Yeah. The key thing there is when you, any of the swap or movement stuff, right? If you just cast Hex from a distance and you're not in range, it will just auto go off, just to clarify for the casual people.
Yeah, I have that vision,
I
though.
thought I'd, you know, bring a bit of newbie stream back for about 3
Please.
seconds. Yeah.
Apparently the tooltips aren't going to be working, so
I'll
someone needs to explain these things.
No. All right, so this is gyrocopter.
This is gyrocopter. Silver Edge was a thing at TI9 actually.
Pretty
Never
cool.
mind.
Beautiful.
Okay, now I can get excited.
And
I'm
now
sorry.
this is when Beast Coast throw.
And why would they be throwing? Because Avo, you have joined us now as the host. Your boys are doing it.
I know. I'm very. At least one of my voices are doing it, right? SG and Thunder didn't have the best performance.
Let's
today.
not get greedy. Okay? You got
but
3 teams here, at least in the first place.
Actually, it was very interesting in the gyrocopter discussion you guys were talking about how the gyro IO. I wanted to ask you, do you think that we should see more diversity with IO partners in general?
Yeah, I think so. I think IO, like, if you want to pick IO, you should pick one of the lanes that IO dominates. Like, IO gyro is an okay lane. It's very stable, and you'll generally win on net worth, but you won't kill your opponent much. Like, I think the IO Slarks, if it's a good Slark game, like things like this are really strong. Or pairing him in an offlane, some IO Legion, IO Slaughter, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, because obviously I don't get to play the scrims these guys do.
Yeah.
But it's just a general feeling I get.
Actually, it's kind of crazy, right? So like, you think about SG, they all played one series today, right? And they lose it. They lose 2-0. Compared to Group A, where for example Alliance, they're going to be playing in total 3 series today. They're already 0-4, right? So the difference between day 1 playing poorly and having a rough start is a 0-2 for one team and a 0-6 for another before you can properly sit down and recover. That is, I didn't really process that because like the groups move so fast, right? But it's the idea that SG, they got handled by Vici Gaming, right? So they're gonna think about that series and then all the other series that happen throughout the day, like what can we look for? And it's just the discrepancy. There's like 4 games difference between like just 2 teams playing like at the same level pretty much. Just underwhelming for so far, right?
That was a luck element that was talked about as well, right? I guess this also really affects the team's performance.
I guess seeding as well, like if you maybe check the seed and who plays more, I don't know, but like yeah, just the reflection of it.
I mean,
It's also just, the matchup you have. Like some teams just might match up better against other things, or not even the teams themselves, just strategies that, because you're going in a bit blind into TI, right?
Very
So
blind.
you're practicing strategy. It just happens to be good versus the team you're playing against, its play style. And something I actually had a question for you, Avo, is it feels like Secret, they've only lost in big tournaments to Kuro teams or South Americans. Like in the Kiev Major 2016, I think they lost, was it SG back then?
It was SG back then.
Yeah, so they lost, like these are big losses, honestly.
Oh, wait, did Chris Luck XD? Chris Luck XD'd them!
Oh no.
Well, we don't have context. Oh, I didn't see what was happened before. Did Secret type anything?
I think it was just Secret getting 2-0 is probably XD worthy for
That,
them.
okay, this is really okay. So in the We Play Major, I know you guys remember that they won the first game, and then they wrote Ga, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they lost.
Oh, still gets the kill. First kill on the board. This might be the combo that they're gonna need. Vacuum from Morphling into Sanking Stun into Ancient Apparition Blast.
And then Nick's Impale as well, right? You've got the Burrow and the Impale. The double bug stun. Saxa balled upon though. Tracked up and money going to be flowing into the bank accounts of GPK.
Dawnbreaker has ulti available once again, so you gotta be careful about that. The stun, the heals. Sacred Relic.
Is that Radiance or?
I guess so.
Just,
I don't.
I want more damage. Give me Relic.
Radiance might be a bit tough against Nyx Assassin.
Divine Rapier?
But we'll see. Could be Nullifier, I don't know. Against Nyx Assassin.
Divine Rapier?
But we'll see. Could be Nullifier, I don't know.
clear day 4 of group stage because everything is hinging on just like one game here and there to get you an upper bracket or in lower bracket, which is still best of ones in this TI format, or no? Do we have the TO1
the low bracket? I don't think so.
I think the first one.
That is like that is a staple of TI.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So
the
that's
lower bracket. I know you want to talk about the games. I want to see what you want.
Nah, VP just wiped them. This is the second time running. Second time I've seen running this Darkseer Bounty Hunter dual off lane.
With Dawnbreaker as well.
Yeah, and if you get kills like this, wait, what was their? Who's their carry? Is it Bounty carry or?
Dawn has an Echo Saber right now.
No, it's a Dawn.
Oh, it's a Dawn carry.
It's Nightfall, yeah.
Okay, that's really cool.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Echo Radiant Dawn.
He does this to so many heroes.
Nightfall?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually the bread and butter VP. They would run some Mars safe lane with a Morphling mid. In this game, it's, I mean, I would actually say the carry is Darkseer. Like they have a carry in the off lane, and they just want to play tempo off that. And one of the only heroes that allows you to play that style is actually Bounty Hunter, because you can snowball the gold difference so hard that it doesn't matter that you can't scale in the same way.
The reason why the Darkseer is carrying that perspective is just because like the morphing, right? Like you have this big agi enemy, and the Darkseer will have a decent lane with Bounty Hunter, and then in the game, you have enough like stuff that when you hit that good wall, that'll be like the real breaking point, where if the game does get close, Darkseer kind of brings it back to your side. But the early fights, as you see here, it's like, this is, I think, VP against these aggressive teams. I think Undying today showed like the NA aggression. Their drafts were very like, just play it chill, take that one counterplay where you got the Darkseer into a Sven stun into a Dorno, you wipe them, you'll control the rest of the game. And it looks, as we tuned in, VP is kind of emulating that again. It's like against another aggressive team going for now from Europe. You have the same heroes, you allow them to play their own game. You might die a couple of times. They died 3 times in this game, but you get that one big wipe or something, and it's hard to lose from that point. He's just so tanky and 8 hero.
So it's clear, when you say that Darkseer is the carry, you mean Darkseer is the one that's going to lead them to the win condition.
It's like whenever you have a Darkseer or Beastmaster on your team, they're given carry priority. Like if this hero has a good game, he's going to win every fight for your team. Like Ironshell just does too much damage in the early game. Like you can think of like the old MVP Phoenix. MVP, like they would run 5 melee heroes with Darkseer, and this is just a style that Darkseer lets you do.
You can say Spirit Breaker if you want. You can give that hero some TI life.
Spirit Breaker.
Currently uncontested right now, T. What's up with that?
Uncontested because the true potential is not unlocked, you know?
It's a main event kind of hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Are you sad that now that CL8 is not playing? We're not going to see Spirit Breaker mid
I think
anymore?
it's best for PSG. I think they crammed that one into the meta so hard that that was actually the best thing about that tournament was everyone was like, wait a second, is Spirit Breaker mid a thing? It's like, no. Spirit Breaker core, like off lane or core is a thing, but like the mid isn't. But watching mid laners try and play it on Pro Tracker was incredible. But this game, what's so exciting is VP loves to try and emulate like the energy of OG in games with like the tipping and the voice lines, and against other teams, it's not so hot. But against this team, they've clearly had the discussion, boys, if we get a kill, if we're winning or wiping them, we're using our voice lines. Like they're using OG's voice lines, they're just spamming them as like all 5 players using 2, they're tipping, and it's like, if anyone dies, it's gonna be straight back at them. So I'd love to know, do these teams mute their enemy to like just?
Of course.
Like, do you know? Yeah.
But do you think they do? Do you think OG enters a game and goes, we'll use our voice lines and we'll mute our enemy, so we're voice lining into the abyss?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think that they thrive on the enemy ones?
It's too annoying.
Is there any team that would choose not to mute their enemy?
Yeah.
You know?
I think OG might be maybe the only team, but then it also be a very.
I mean, I feel like Saxa mutes his opponent for sure.
True.
Like it might be like Sumail probably mutes him too.
Yeah. But like there is psychoanalysis to have where if your enemy is voice lining you know they're confident. You kill them once and they stop. You know they're thinking about the game now, right? So you know you're breaking down their confidence. You know. So you can read between the lines of tipping.
That's like a lot to think about.
This is OG that we're talking about.
5 players don't have much to do, okay? You put your water. No, I'm joking. We have a lot to do. 5 players is a very key role, but I feel like everyone watching can happily experience. Like if you use your voice line, right? You know when you're winning, you're using, and you're losing. You're like, I probably should hit
OG
myself
uses
better.
it anyways, though.
yeah, that's true. They are currently getting a bit handled by VP. And this is like
VP's, their lineup's just so cool because if they have a good lane for Darkseer, which, as you guys said, like it might be almost guaranteed with Darkseer Bounty Hunter, right? That's a hard lane to deal with. They have triple global presence with the Dawnbreaker and then the Relocate.
And the Storm.
And look at it. Nightfall, he's been godlike since like 12 minutes in this game or something, I think.
You can tell here though.
Radiance.
Talking to me? You can tell that they don't have them muted, by the way. Owie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because NoTel instantly responded with the line of stay positive because he knew he was getting attacked via the voice lines. So just to answer our previous bit,
Your
NoTel
previous bit. You're the only person who's been going in a circle about this.
I just feel like we just need to
This communal discussion that we've been having.
I want to
Teacup
just
and
wrap
Teacup.
up this point. You know, it's like I'm tired of it already, but now that I've concluded it, NoTel doesn't have the enemy muted. We can continue with our lives because VP is, you know, showing OG that they are a very strong team and that this is the best environment for them to compete well at because it's a online tournament at a hotel.
You got any more you want to add?
No.
Are you sure?
Do you have anything you want to add?
I hadn't for the past 7 minutes. Only thing I would add is it's the communication via BM is being replicated because GPK died back-to-back as Storm and got 4-man tipped back-to-back. And then now Sumail, as we may see at the end of this replay, kind of bumbles his way into a tree line thinking that he could finish off the Storm. And I don't know, I think he turned into Darkseer and then self-surged himself and surged himself into almost certain death. But I guess we won't see it. Take my word for it.
You have to think at this point though that because GPK does this a lot. I've never seen a player die on a Storm twice, like die back on Storm as often as he does.
I thought that he was going to tilt off the face of the earth
But I think he can't be tiltable with these plays anymore. This happens to him so much. And I'm not saying this to flame him, I'm genuinely. Like a GPK Storm is always the 50-50.
I believe his competitive win rate on Storm Spirit is 35%.
Sorry,
and this is like a pretty big sample. It's like at least more than 30 games played.
And they've been playing this strat specifically. Actually, you were talking about this, that you saw this earlier, Ali, with the Bounty Hunter Darkseer, but it's almost the exact same draft. The only difference is they had, I think that Sven as carry last time, and Dawnbreaker as 5, obviously. What is the strength of the Storm in these kind of like run at you lineups?
I mean, I think it's the Storm. I think Storm is one of the best auto combos. You give him, he benefits from everything, right? Like attack speed, spell, mana regen, and HP regen because he goes in. And he also sets up, he's one of the best setups for auto kill. They actually killed Nightfall though, that's a huge kill. Big streak coming out. And I think, like Storm is basically global presence. And Darkseer, like, he ghost pushes lanes, like he doesn't show when the Iron Shells creeps and pushes them. So the amount of map control and pickoff you get with this specific set of heroes is really high. I am a bit worried though, to be honest, at VP they're running such a similar strat. Because what happened at Animajor was, like, I think Xiaowei did an interview, he's talking about how they know what VP's doing because they will literally do the exact same thing they did in scrims. So I'm hoping they have a bit more variety and strategy in this tournament because at Animajor they sort of fizzled out because everyone knew exactly what they were going to do.
Do you think the coach they have now, probably the most experienced player or the person on their team, can help them? I mean, because maybe these are things they haven't thought about as young players.
I'm not
sure. They have a coach now at least.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what
they have bulked up.
I feel like their coach
that's what you said.
isn't a strategy coach. Like I have nothing to base that off, but like, I mean, the only thing I can base it off is like talking to the VP players.
Yeah.
Like they're very, very driven idea-wise. And generally what that means is like probably their coach is more like on the mental side.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that translates to him being able to get them to not have overconfidence in their strategy, because that's what happened at Animajor, right? Like they're so confident in their strategies that they didn't care if anyone had seen them. When you get overconfident like that, you can sort of get exposed. So maybe, but it's hard for me to say.
I mean, and this happens well in the interviews. You actually, I think I've never seen a more confident team than VP doing interviews. It was incredible.
Yeah, some of their interviews were basically, we didn't really, like we wanted to test ourselves, so we purposely did this one thing in our draft, or we purposely like removed this aspect of our gameplay so that in the game it was harder for us. Like they didn't really specify exactly what they were tweaking or like what they were really removing from themselves. Like maybe they picked a worse hero, maybe they, you know, they played some Windrunner or something, but they actively in their post-game said, yeah, we won 2-0, we were doing this specific kind of idea, we wanted to handicap ourselves, we wanted to test ourselves, because like they already knew that they'd beaten like the teams that would be going to like maybe the major from Eastern Europe, and it's like they were playing against the teams that were like fighting for lower division. So even in their interviews, they had like a very professional approach to answering the question, but they're also like, we didn't, care, kind of, but then they also learned a lot from it, so I guess it's very helpful.
Do you remember the summit where VP, not this roster, but the same org, they got flamed for only playing the same heroes, so they decided to pick a different hero for every
they
single
had the sheet
game.
of paper, right? And they were like, Xing it off every time.
I agree, because variety is the spice of life. We like variety. That's why we like to change panelists as much as possible. And someone here is getting taken away.
But you don't know which, Avo.
Yeah, it's like,
you don't know
we
which.
don't know. We don't
You
know.
were you were 98% of the way there for the perfect segue, the most godlike
one
segue
knows.
possible.
Well, will this wonderful analyst stop?
She's deciding. She's mulling it over.
Oh.
She's staring at me. My time is up, gentlemen. It's been a
I was
pleasure.
going to be the pivot and look. I'm like, oh,
I actually thought it was you, Teacup, as well.
yeah, that's what I
I'm so
thought.
sorry.
I was like, see you, boys.
Missed opportunity.
Hey, Effie. Nice to have you on panel.
Hey.
You want to get caught up on what's happening?
Yes.
We've been discussing VPs over conference, so sometimes that leads them to reveal strats a bit too early and then do the same strat over and over again. And I was particularly concerned about this concept because they have already shown the strat once before, or a very similar idea with the Darkseer Bounty Hunter. Any thoughts on that?
Storm Isle.
And Storm IO as well.
I've got to say that the couch is really warm, and that's nice. Thank you, Tsunami.
That's the thing I cared about the most. I appreciate that.
No, something I wanted to comment on before answering that was just Curtis hit the nail on the head when he was saying their coach is more of a life coach because he doesn't even play Dota.
He doesn't play Dota.
No, he's a professional basketball player.
Really?
So
Okay.
VP's coach.
What?
VP's coach.
Didn't he coach another Dota team before as well?
He was a coach Gambit.
I'm not sure about that.
It's Monaco Gambit. That was his
Yeah, I know, but he might have done the same thing for them.
But he
Well,
doesn't,
sorry.
he doesn't even play
ball on the
Dota.
side.
He's a professional basketball player and he came in to teach them, I guess, discipline, structure, motivation.
That's super cool, actually.
That's crazy. And he still competes professionally in basketball as he coaches as well?
I don't know the details about him in specific. I just know what it is that he does. And I know that he talked to one of the lovely makeup ladies and she asked, do you even play Dota? He said no.
Does he ever play Dota?
I'm gonna tell the makeup.
Are we on
ladies I
about
will play
bulk
Dota.
here?
It'll be really, really fun. It'll be a good bet. But honestly, that's super interesting because it shows how the Dota scene has progressed. Because I remember, do you guys remember LGDN?
Sorry, can I quick back
Yeah.
point? Are we on about Bulk here? Because Bulk's the coach of VP, and he's been playing Dota from like 2013, coaching for like 5-6 years.
Maybe it's
he
their
means like
secondary coach?
Play,
Do they have
the
another
really,
coach?
the
yeah,
really
two
tall
coaches.
one.
Oh,
The
okay. so
really,
they have
really
two,
tall
okay.
one.
That's what I was worried. I thought we were talking about Bulk.
No.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that is
this,
a coach.
Okay,
It's
cool.
an
So
official
they have a
coach, right?
second guy that we. Okay, cool.
That's
nice.
the coach that they've been talking about
Perfect.
who's
Alright.
changed.
That's nice. So basically, they have two coaches.
The two coaches did.
I was worried that Bulk, this guy who's had like this illustrious like on and off Dota coaching career, was actually secretly playing ball on the side, and I was like, how's he
For
done
6 years as well. That's
I
a
was
really
like, how's
long
he
ball
done
career.
this? How's he like been dunking hoops whilst being not 6 foot? Because he's like kind of the same height as me. I'm like 5'7". Anyway, 6 foot. But you get the point. I was confused here.
So you were jealous because you would want to be a basketball player, and now you feel like you could have done this the whole time.
I mean, if he was balancing both of those things, but anyway, there's a very tall guy in VP, and now I know who he is. Thank you,
That's him,
Effie. Yeah.
yes. So when we interviewed, I think it was DM at ESL One Fall, he said that the introduction of this coach in particular has changed them completely, and they've been waking up early in the morning and being given motivational speeches and just things, lifestyle changes that they hadn't considered before that have really impacted their gameplay positively. So it's really interesting to me that AUI was able to say, I think it's more of a
I was talking with the wrong coach though, so that's just wrong here.
I'm interested in what you were saying that back in the day with LGDN here starting to mention.
I mean, I don't know if it's the exact same thing, but when LGDN went to China, they were asked if they want to bring in a coach, and they brought in someone who was like more of a mental-friendly coach for them, and the org had like none of that. Like they were really mad they did that instead of bringing in a Dota coach. But I think as the scene has grown and progressed, like especially with OGs, successful psychologists, and maybe even like Papa Serral, who's like less of a Dota person and more of a mental person at TI8.
That's
like
true.
we've started to value things that are valued in every other type of competition for a reason. Like every sport, you have these people. Most other esports, honestly, adopted a bit faster than Dota because Dota's weird. So
We're elitist about our game.
It's the old guard, you know, like the guys who have played Dota for so long, and it's like they look at the game, it's like, hey, I've seen it happen before. Like I know what Dota is, I know what Dota's becoming, like with patches. It's like it's hard to then take that step back from like the experience and success, and then tell them, no, guys, you have to focus on the other part of your team, their entire kind of everyone, like just the kind of the vibe you should have, right? And like harnessing the correct vibe in a team unlocks yourself. Like when you try and build a new roster, like you see superstar rosters made here and there, right? It doesn't mean anything if they just don't mesh together, right? If there's like so many egos or so many personalities, or like I can't talk to you honestly, right? If we're on the same team and you've done something annoying in a game or I've done something bad, but we can't talk about it, but we get angry about it and like we hold that, we're never improving and getting better, right? And that's where having that additional person to create those systems just unlocks everything in a team. And I think every team realistically should have that schedule so that you wake up, you have the same philosophies, and we practice at this time, we pub at that time, and we...
Oh, so you're a believer in schedules then?
Yeah, schedules are great, mate.
I want to talk about someone who does not believe in schedules, I think. Do you? Are you? I know, I've seen when you play Dota. do you think that's actually necessary? Do you actually believe in the idea of routine?
I think that my life is much simpler when there's routine in it, and
Okay.
I'm more productive. I unfortunately fall to the Dota player curse of sometimes playing 15 hours a day and then ruining my sleep schedule, and then the next day I play for even longer, and suddenly I'm awake at 5 p.m. and sleeping at 8 a.m. But we can talk about other
the sun's
things.
rising, you're like, oh no.
We can talk about other things. But I think, just to add on to what T was saying, creating the systems is very important, but also having someone who can change the way that you think about things essentially can be so beneficial to you. Because a lot of these younger players who go into competitive gaming and esports so early in their lives have put themselves in these high pressure situations where they just blame themselves and beat themselves up when they lose, and maybe it creates a bit of a toxic mentality that they have and an inability to deal with loss very well, right? So even something like e.g. bringing in Dr. K was incredibly high profile.
Exactly, Dr. K.
Again.
Do you want to say it again? We should all say it together, maybe. Dr. K.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a countdown.
No. I was hoping we just... No, we were joking, because Dr. K has been... We have been shilling for him the whole day. We are huge fans.
We are huge Dr. K fans.
Dr. K. As you were saying.
This is a weird meme.
No.
It's a creation.
Jenkins has been speaking about how great Dr.
Jenkins
K is.
did it. Oh, okay.
Every time we say Dr. K, we get like 0.0000001% of Jenkins' share of his autograph. So.
Because he really does great things, I think, for people in this place, and it's incredible that we have him interested in Dota. But VP historically have had this issue, right, where they can stomp through a group stage or stomp through a bracket and then lose once and then completely...
You mean this issue?
This is kind of
like
hype.
stomping through a game, but then throwing team fights and losing it.
And then completely crumble, even if it's...
Ring, coach, can you talk to us during game? 6 people aren't allowed at TI.
Just
But even if
wait till
even if it's not at the point where it's unsalvageable, or they're not at a point where their strategy has fallen apart or been cracked, they crack mentally because they're just not used to recovering from a loss. And if that's something that they can work on with this new rigid discipline and structure in their routines and in their practice, they could become one of the scariest teams in this tournament by far, because that's always been their issue.
I really like what you just said there, because if you look at VP and how they're coming into majors before, these 5 players on the European ladder, like server, for ranked matchmaking, I think they were the best 5 players together. But they had to understand exactly what you're saying, that the skill set might not be exactly that. You need someone to come in and help you re-examine what you really need to improve on. And honestly, if you're just doing that on your own, it's really hard to isolate things in Dota because there's so much happening. And if you lose a pub, you're just, okay, as my dumb teammate, go next. You're not like focusing on improvement. If you have a third party come in who can help you focus and like adjust your mentality a bit, we might like start to see VP be a completely different team.
Would you like a random stat about Shadow Amulet buying on GPK?
Oh, please.
Okay, so he actually has a Dota buff public, unlike any other pro, which is also a very weird thing. He's rank 1 in Europe, and on this account, he's played maybe 3,200 games, 3,200. He has bought, or ended the game with Amulet, 300 320 times.
But he's only played 3,200 games?
On this account, correct. And he's ranked 1.
That's really low.
So
Yeah, that's very low.
of the 3,200 games to be rank 1,
10% of his games.
10% have ended with an amulet in his inventory, of which he has a win rate of 39% with the amulet. So 60% of his games, i.e. losses, he's had an amulet.
So what does that tell you? That he's always trying to
so
build Shadow Blade?
he won 120 games with the Shadow Amulet?
Yes, and he's lost.
That's actually very impressive.
So 180 games, which he's lost, he's had an amulet, which we know what we mean. But like,
wait, he has a 30-something% win rate with Shadow Amulet.
Yes,
that's really impressive.
But that's
really
just like
high.
buying it as the game ends, right? But the key point here is, in 180 games, he has bought amulet, which we can assume is, you know, why the unspoken.
No, we can explain because there's not a lot of non-Dota people.
Okay, that's impressive in a weird way, but don't condone it. But anyway.
Sure, yeah. The Shadow Amulet idea, just briefly before we continue with this, for people that don't watch or follow the pro meta. It's a common thing that sometimes people will grief games when they're angry, and they'll buy a Shadow Amulet, and they'll get next to creeps, they'll become invisible, and that way they don't AFK.
Yes.
We do not condone this. Don't do this.
And hopefully he stops doing it because of all this stuff we're
In
talking
fact, he's
about now.
actually been called out even by the org before this.
Exactly.
But, you know, not just GPK, all Shadow Amulet
Yes, I
buyers
agree.
in professional Dota, please don't do it. We don't want to call him out in particular because we're making it sound like he's the only one, but he's really not.
Many of them.
But that goes back to the whole mindset thing that we were talking about. If in a lot of his pubs he just gets angry and is willing to just give up on the game, that really could kind of indicate what some of the issues that VP have faced in the past are.
I actually am a strong believer in that. Like, how you practice is how you perform.
100%.
And
yes.
if you give up in pubs, I think it affects you mentally. Like, you're easier to tilt and crack.
But like the thing is with that though, it's like a pub is a game where you experience the things that you probably don't experience in pro games. Because how often does a pro game go to like 50, 60 minutes, or that weird wacky point where like Rax is falling, Roshan's contesting, like everything's out there, you know? And you're putting your hero and your own mechanical ability to the ultimate test of the insecurity, are your teammates gonna do things, what's your enemy gonna do? And like giving up in a game is losing the ability to play into that big disadvantage, to find new ways to unlock your hero or your own potential. So like, whenever I see someone giving up in a game, or a pro giving up in a game, or anyone just not wanting to finish the game and assuming it's over, you're losing that opportunity to learn about a new way to play the game, or a new, just that experience you're missing. And it's like, yeah, it upsets me when I see that.
For the vast majority of Dota players, there's always something you can learn in the game.
Exactly. The assumption it's over and there's nothing to learn is the biggest thing that you need to overcome to be able to actually learn and get good at the game.
Okay. It's so weird too, because people are so obsessed about MMR, but MMR is a measure of how much you improve and improve your ability to win. It's not a measure of your ability to win this specific game, like long-term wise. So if you really want to improve MMR, you should be trying to learn every game and improve.
Like losing MMR is fine.
Yeah,
You're
it
gonna
won't
gain
matter
it back
in the long
if
run.
if you learn, yeah.
But that's an interesting concept, because if you actually look at the importance of MMR, right? If you have to be a certain rank, or people will judge you for being a certain rank, at least in the pro game, and you actually look at your time as not being as being finite, sometimes the idea of you losing a game quicker so you can rank again if you think that game is lost is actually better if you're only looking at the number, right?
Yeah.
So could it be that the number itself is negative, that the oppression over the number is negative to a degree, that it stops the idea of self-improvement?
I didn't follow that.
As in, if theoretically, if you said like in the long term, right, your MR, the more you learn in games, the better your MR will be.
Yes.
But since your time is finite, if I go and make a game shorter so I can play another game and rank again and rank up again, if my MR really matters, sometimes that is the best thing for the actual number to increase.
No, I don't think so.
Never?
Because, I mean, never. I can't say never.
Okay, sure, but most of the time.
So when you're trying to learn in Dota, there's too many things to learn because the game is really complex. So you should be trying to isolate areas of the game to improve in. When games come down to games that are unwinnable, it actually allows you to be put in a spot where you can focus on something specifically to improve on. So like, okay, the game's almost over. You think it's unwinnable, you can think, okay, how can I get as much farm as possible while putting as much pressure on our enemy? And you specifically improve on that. That's actually better learning than randomly going into a game without a purpose and just being like, I'm gonna play the lane and I'm gonna play the next part and then I'm gonna watch VP stomp this team fight.
Is it possible?
Yeah. Sorry, just to go back to here. OG was a man down. Seba died bot lane, getting picked off by VP. They smoked us 4 in the hope to catch like VP trying to maybe sweep across the map, get like that high surprised you, but VP was, they're ready. When your carry has a global ability to get to the fight, it's very hard to find that pickoff, and OG do get punished for it. Most likely going to be losing this game because I believe OG doesn't have the buybacks to actually
contest this.
Yeah, well, it's going to give away. Actually, Roshan respawning in a minute, right? Yeah.
I mean, if this game does go on long enough, Morphling is the best carry in this game, right?
So 50-50.
Like eventually, but honestly, with Bounty Hunter and how many kills are, like Nick's just bought back. I'm not too sure if they'll make it to that point.
Yeah, it just feels like VP is going to wait for Dawnbreaker to respawn, get Roshan, and then just go for another fight. Ooh, they are finding pickoff.
That's a good pickoff.
And may I say, I wasn't here in the start of this game, but I was very pleasantly surprised to see Dawnbreaker's debut at TI be as a core, because I think most people expected
her... No, the debut was a support.
Well,
it was the first game VP played. It's a 5.
I didn't catch that one, but okay, I'm wrong then. But it's still nice to see her being played as a core, because typically most people thought that we would see the Holy Locket build that people have been doing in pubs, and that's what her TI meta is going to be. So this idea that Dawnbreaker can be introduced into drafts as also a carry is going to be really nice in perhaps the reintroduction of her as a tier 1 Ganon pick again, because we didn't really see her all that much today.
Yeah, I was surprised,
She wasn't
honestly.
contested.
It's just VP.
Do you like her more as a core?
Not particularly, but I do think as a support she has been suffering. I think that Holy Locket build has been figured out, and those damage tweaks that they did in the pre-patch, actually you can feel them in lane. She doesn't feel like...
She used to do literally 400 damage.
Literally removed you from the lane just by looking. I'm sorry for being in the lane.
With the combination of that, those damage tweaks, and all the nerfs she got when she first got released, she actually doesn't feel as broken as she would have been if they hadn't tweaked the damage. So her as a carry is a nice concept because you can still build on her passive and completely bonk people to death, right? So if that's something that we're going to be seeing, more phase 1 to consider in your drafts, for sure.
I like the pairing of just the Bounty Dawn though, and the idea of like, Bounty's naturally somewhat a tanky hero because you eventually get BKB, your shard is pretty chill, like you're just in the face doing annoying stuff, right? And then just Dawn, if it's going to be a support or some offlane, you're keeping them alive. Like you're basically allowing anyone to unlock the fight, and normally that person dies and you have to buy back. But now, like with this Dawn casually being there, if it's some Locket Axe build, they're gonna survive, and if it's not a Locket build, it's a carry. That hero might die that you're jumping on, but you'll keep them alive long enough to waste key spells to unlock the Dawn's fight to go into. Yeah, Dawn's in a very strong position. Like the hero is still very good in both support and core. It's just unlocking it in the correct way, and VP clearly has a nice read on it because they are really showcasing it to its both support and core potential today in 2 games.
You think other teams will start reading them and then go back to what we said of VP being a bit too confident with it?
I think
they should have more up their sleeve for this first phase, right? But if this Dawn is successful for them as a core as well, this is going to introduce a different kind of thinking that their opponents have to have when they go into drafting phase. Because their first phase has suddenly changed into a potential Dawn, right? All these picks and bans that we're considering, like these Tinies and IOs, etc., all of a sudden, how do we work Dawn into that? And that's a competitive advantage for sure. I don't particularly think Dawn as a support will be that successful for reasons that I've mentioned, but if played in the correct way, her ultimate is such a thorn in any team's side, because in highly coordinated play, you could call it the perfect spell, right? You can be anywhere on the map and you can heal, save, counter gank, or follow up with a stun, right? Chain stun. It can do so much for your team. So that ult in and of itself is useful.
There's like a 25-second window in this game where Storm and Bounty don't have buyback. Roshan's going to be up. And then we've pretty much been talking about VP winning this game, but after that mid-fight, and then OG found those 2 pickoffs, into then another set of pickoffs, into Nightfall then pausing. Ooh. Roshan just respawned. Like, this should just be OG getting...
click.
Yeah, like, ooh,
the timing
is
incredible, man.
But like, this should, with Windrunner plus Morphling, this is just an agent. Yep. This could easily just become
Morphling does outscale those heroes.
Yeah. If you're gonna look at a Dawn Morphling carry matchup, what's Dawn gonna do to Morphling?
No, of course. Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
Really nothing to do.
Yeah, it's a
You have to pray for the Dark Seal, because like what we mentioned earlier at the very start was like the idea that VP's lineup is strong with the fact that Dark Saber will be able to always keep you in the game if you get the wall off to, get the Morphling, kill everyone else. And it's the story of like, kite out the Morphling, kill everyone else. Morphling's now like 1v3. It's like, I can't really kill, but if Morphling has 6 items or something, then you can make those fights. But
honestly, even Wind Ranger, like in this game, if she has a pretty free game, right? Like the only stun is Storm Spirit. So like if you're ahead and you're running over the map, like think of the old TI7 Liquid. Like they would pick no stuns, but because they're so good at laning and transitioning into aggression, you wouldn't need stuns to kill your opponents. But once the game's even, like you need to stun people in order to hit them. And if it ever gets to even, like I can't see VP looking happy this game.
But look at this build as well, right? From the window nose. It's complete, just I will survive, be annoying in the fight. You'll do like kind of tickling damage where you might get some mouse pops and stuff, but like it's not as if it's the Daedalus-esque, what we popularized as a winner player, what most, ranked players will go for.
Big storm pole.
Yeah. This game's so kind of weirdly close.
Did you see how much Dawn healed off of 1 Starbreaker?
it's stupid. It
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's something you can only do as a core Dawn.
That is
the power of
when you play
Iris.
support, you're just missing a spell, right?
Okay.
Okay, so we're hyping up the potential for OG to come back.
But just in all things, VP then makes a good play and kills him once again.
It was a good smoke. They jumped to AA right away, right? Like I think that's what we really saw there. AA died, and then Dawnbreaker got to use a spell that he only has as a core.
Perfect. That's what I
And
wanted to
also,
say.
like you build Holy Lock, it actually doesn't work on the 3rd spell, right?
No.
Like, it's Sange.
It doesn't. It's only
I
the
don't know if he
ultimate.
has a Sange. I don't think he does, but it's pretty
doesn't.
crazy. If Satanic 1st spell and 3rd spell, you just heal to full apparently.
That
Perfect.
almost worked out if it weren't for Dawn going from almost 0 to 100 again.
There is the help of the IO as well, which obviously amplifies a fair amount, especially because Dawn heals in an area. So.
Oh, that is
very nice
something.
point.
I actually completely forgot about that. Like you heal IO, you heal yourself, and you heal yourself more.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good combo, to be honest. You were talking about other IO combos, and this could be a thing.
The idea.
Even the lane sounds really scary, right? Just some beefy, thick Omni-Knight just running at you and hitting you.
Also, something I wanted to point out, another reason why they destroyed that fight was most Dawns will take the Celestial Hammer range taunt. If you look at the DOTA Plus stats on it, it's almost 100% people take that taunt.
Okay.
But Nightfall actually went for the 2 Starbreaker charges, and he used 1 Starbreaker to heal to full, and then another one to just get a triple kill,
Does
right?
he also have shards?
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
2, like imagine a semi-BKB and 2 Starbreaker charges where you can't take any kind of magic
there's
damage
one.
or
I agree.
stuns.
That is really strong.
And then you have your full BKB. So there's
are.
just a lot of use to it.
See, you're loving the Dawnbreaker as a core.
Now they're dead.
Were you?
Okay, so now that we've been calling it VP,
So yeah. okay, to be fair though,
Sumail bought back, Thompson bought back.
this is one of the things, right? VP, we're talking about how OG's winning the game, it's looking pretty chill. VP, Smoke, get the perfect fight, right? But it's the fight after, it's that kind of confidence of aggression where they're diving the tier 4s, right?
Yeah.
Everything we discussed in VP doing well was unlocking the engagement, allowing Dawn to get off that good ultimate. He's not getting AOTs, it's vision. And now when you're diving the tier 4s, not respecting potential buybacks, that's like Dota 101, right? To maybe throw a game. It allows OG back in.
I want to ask you as a coach though, because you just did really well today, right? You got a bunch of points already. This is a match that potentially you could not win, and you'll still be fine in the groups. Is there a value to be able to identify this as a coach and weed these errors out before you get to the playoffs?
You mean from the perspective of VP? So if
Yeah,
VP
for
to lose this
VP.
game,
Yeah.
100%. This is like a game you review. If you're like every single game, you're kind of reviewing to like some quality because there's a lot of time to do it. But you're 100%. This is very critical. As another team fight, OG, they win that mid
That's a
fight. They're
GD on
going
both
down mid. Run it down mid, boys. This is the power shot.
This is their window, double buyback on
Yeah.
both of their cores. Next fight, if they take it incorrectly, it's...
Obviously
Who
both
has
teams,
buyback
right?
for OG though?
Like both teams, the 1 and 2 position don't have buyback.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And they do have the advantage of being closer to their base on VP.
I will say like the move to dive tier 4s, like everyone knows they shouldn't do it, even though the Heralds do it anyways. Yeah. But their lineup specifically is actually pretty hard to hit bonus with, to be fair. Like if Dawnbreaker, Storm, Dark's your cores, like who's doing the building damage?
He has buyback, does have buyback. Okay.
So the move to kill the heroes so you can actually hit the buildings afterwards.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
Theoretically.
with hindsight, it's easy to say like, oh, you guys should have played out more to bait the buyback, and they should have. Like I can't see a Team Secret diving like that, to be honest, if Puppy's like in command.
Yeah, that type
But
of
like
play.
the logic is there.
Yeah, so like on a different team, that play would be like you have one hero dive the key hero, and then you're using like Surge or Relocate to bring him back out, and then you're sacrificing maybe the IO in trade of 1 or 2 buybacks to punish that type of play. The all-in every hero on top, that's very much just like a VP, or even OG probably would have done that play of just, if we're breaking our opponent, we want to absolutely break them. And sometimes it works and you get a fight, you take tier 4 to win the game. Sometimes you get wiped and you give your enemy a pretty good shot back into the game.
So I'm wondering what OG are going to do with this window. I was curious about the way Darkseer just ran into them and died there. I had a thought that maybe they wanted to bait them to go into their base and then buy back on Darkseer and take a favorable fight, but it looks like OG had a read on that and are not taking that.
Honestly, I feel like what happened there was like, DM was like, I have buyback, I can bait a fight. And it was like, yeah, go bait.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm baiting guys, so he keeps getting further and further away. And he's like, ah shit guys, I'm too far.
I'm too far.
That's a nice kill in A.
So that's also a thing where it's like, in this position of game, when you know them buyback, and you see your enemy buyback, and you know they have it, it's like, if you take that fight, you're playing into your opponent, right? So OG parking onto the high ground, that's just kind of a very chill, relaxed way to play into a high intensity situation. Like, they don't want to make the same mistake VP made. They don't want to be drawn into this kind of, like, again, look at VP's heroes. Storm zips in, it unlocks Dawn to get the perfect ultimate, because Storm's literally placing it for you, right, once he casts it. So, yeah, I think very much OG, they can then go back to their side of the map, offer VP, hey guys, come, you're winning these fights right now. You want to come hit our base again, and then boom, if they get a key kill on that pause 1 or pause 2, suddenly they're running it down mid. So OG's best kind of fight right now is to allow VP to come to them, really.
As I mentioned before, AA right now is dead, and that was the key hero in stopping this Dawnbreaker IO combination. So if they can actually take the fight in this upcoming 20 seconds, this is the best window for them to actually win it.
There we go. This is more what you were talking about T earlier, trying to bait them out, put them out of position. May Wall Replica be more of a commitment
with a shard? They just run it down mid and Dawn's now dead.
Dawnbreaker has no buyback
though. This might come after it taking off. Yeah, they just fell into the trap. That was just it. That was.
Oh, they even tip him.
And then okay, all right, I won't lie. No tell, he is trying to reinvent the wheel here, you know? Like, he is trying to, so TI8 was tipping, TI9 was, you know, many papers or whatever, and now this TI, he literally all chatting.
Did he actually all chat?
He question marked his first series against, I think it was Alliance.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now he all chatted Ratatata or whatever.
Oh, he actually wrote that?
He wrote it. So he's all chatted now in 2 games.
I feel like you should...
That graph is ridiculous.
That is a ridiculous graph.
I'm just so surprised VP made that though. Like, it just feels like it's like the play, right? Like,
I mean, I feel like this game is 10 extremely high skilled players, but I don't know what the strategy is. Like, this is not honestly something I expect to see at TI.
Okay, and also subtly then, I guess we could probably emphasize the win on a shard here, because like. I didn't really, like that tier 4 fight we took, like, and even this one, it's like they're playing in these aggressive areas, so they are delicately getting pushed a little deeper. I actually love the winner of the shard.
That shard is good.
The shard is so fun to play with and against.
The fact
maybe not against, actually. I hate playing against like Gale Force, and it's GG.
I think what...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think what happened there was they just saw that as their best opportunity to take a fight for the reasons that we mentioned, right? The AA being dead, but they played into OG. They were already on the high ground. They didn't fall for the smoke.
But it was such a half goal. Like, Darkseer jump got a wall on 2. Storm did not jump with him. Dawnbreaker did not
Exactly, yeah.
And we're talking about how Morphling outscales the Dawnbreaker, which is, I mean, that has to just be the truth. But if you get like Refresher and Darkseer and everything, you anime punch him a couple of times, like, it might not be that one-sided in terms of scale.
Yeah, I'm just a bit surprised by how well VP have been playing throughout the day, and it's kind of like they lose this game to themselves pretty much, right? And like saying that does feel a bit
I don't know. Infinite, lots, many.
Oh, those 2 Wind Rangers, the Shackles, Ancient Apparition, amplifying all that damage. It just classic OG. They do not want to stop fighting. Doesn't matter. Like, they go in 4 versus 5. They know that their 5th player does not have a buyback,